Well, it's 2026 already, and today I'm going to give you a list of the cars and the redesigns that I think are going to be the most influential for 2026 and are going to sell the best, and that maybe you should consider. Starting off, the Mazda MX-5, Mazda's most popular model, their subcompact SUV, has an all-new generation. Stylistically, it's changed. Their interior has changed a little bit. They're using their logo less. On the back, instead of having a Mazda logo, it just says Mazda, much like the steering wheel. It's very modern, and it's going to give the new Subaru Forester and the older RAV4, or I guess the new RAV4, a run for its money. So I think definitely the CX-5 will be big for 2026. It is Mazda's most popular model, and they're coming out with a new one, and yeah, I wish them the best. Next, there is an all-new Nissan Leaf. For a while, the Nissan Leaf, it was the favorite EV. You know, in the beginning place of EVs, you had the Teslas, you had so much stuff, you had the Kodas, and yet the Nissan Leaf has stayed around the longest. If I want to buy a used EV, I'd buy a Leaf. The Leaf is really popular. A lot of people love it. The last generation was great, and now Nissan has decided to turn it over into a crossover. So I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this will sell well. I would personally think you should give it a try. Nissan's been really great with the EVs. They came out with the first Leaf in, I think, 2012, 2011. It was a smash hit, beat out Koda, beat out Tesla for a while there. Nissan really owns the consumer EV space, and people are liking it so far. They're not hating it. Good job. A new Toyota Camry came out, which means there's a new Lexus ES in more of a saloon form. See, a lot of companies always say, well, this is going to revolutionize whatever industry the car is in. Usually the auto industry. And a lot of times that's not the truth, but I think this time it might actually do it. Now, for better or for worse, I think as soon as, BMW and especially Mercedes see this, they're going to feel like they're dated. Lexus has had the same design language forever, and now they're changing it with an all-new car. I think that's going to cause a lot of freak out. Also, they canceled the LS, and, they're just going down, canceling the sedans here, like Passover. So, it's going to be the chief Lexus sedan now, and, being the chief Lexus sedan, it's a big deal, and I hope it does it well. Alright, this is exciting. Jeep has been kind of dying under the arms of Stellantis, and finally they gave them a good car. I love the Jeep Cherokee, especially the new one. I think it's good. I think it's a good decision for the company. I think creating a hybrid is excellent. The RAV4 and the Forester and all those guys, the CR-V, they've kind of been allowed to exist without really getting competitive in a while. And that's not a good thing, because the RAV4's really gotten bigger and worse, and same with, the Honda, just smaller engines, worse transmission, smaller interiors. Now, I think this Jeep Cherokee with 30% more cargo space, I've been seeing the ads all day, because I love Desperate Housewives, because it's a great show. I think it's really going to give them a run for their money, and I think maybe really you should check it out. It's not going to be reliable, but I like the styling, and I think they did a good job. Alright, we've got a new Nissan Sentra. Nissan is kind of the king of budget right now. They have the Kicks, they have the Kicks Play, they're expanding their lineup, they've got the Leaf. They're really trying for cheap cars. And the Sentra's been kind of the king of cheap cars for a while. It's been like $24,000 brand new. A lot of teachers drive them. I know a teacher personally that drives them. They're great. They enjoy them. They think they're nice. They think they get good gas mileage. And the fact that they created a new one, it didn't make it like an EV or, all mandatory hybrid or, that ugly, is nice. And also, Nissan is not a dying brand. They're coming out with new motifs. For a while there, they weren't doing good. I wouldn't say they were on the fringe of death like, VW, but they weren't doing good, and it's glad to see that they're back and they're kicking. Alright, the EX30. This is a car that I really like. It was just refreshed minorly, but I think this is going to be a big car for 2026. First of all, it's from Volvo, and it's from $40,000. And here, I've seen them in Florida. I've seen them in Cleveland. They're good. They're getting popular. I'm really liking them. And I've sat inside of them. I've driven one. I personally really like them. Now, the sad thing is, Volvo used to have Polestar to make all their EVs, so that's how they got out of the EV question. But now that Polestar is its own company, Volvo's having to make EVs. So that kind of ticks me off. Why should Volvo be forced to make EVs? But hey, the EVs that they're coming out with are good. So at the end of the day, even if it does really not make any sense and it's really waste for the company just to rebadge vehicles and sell them as Volvos even when they have Polestar, they make good EVs, so whatever. Alright. Dodge Charger with the Hurricane V6. Now, while I would like it with a twin-turbo Hemi V8, like it should be, the V6 is something, and at least it comes in gas, and they're really focusing on the EVs, but I think this is pretty cool. It's very muscle car-y. It's very, I like the interior, even though it has a Jeep steering wheel, and I kind of hate that steering wheel in the interior. It's better than the previous Dodge Charger interior. I think it's going to sell decently well, but people really want that Hemi V8, so the people who are going to want that are just going to have to buy the last generation. But, I think in America, we're finally realizing we like the cars that we like, and you want to know what? That's okay, and we shouldn't be ashamed about that. We like our gas cars. In the end, we're not really polluting that much, and all the people that are polluting are the people telling us to get rid of them. So you want to know what? I don't care. I'll drive my V6 till I'm dead. Alright, now this I like and I don't. We have an all-new RAV4, and whatever RAV4 comes out, it's a healthy auto industry. And I feel like we're healing here in 2026, but the issue is I just don't like it. It's too boxy, the hood is too high, you can't see little kids walking in front of the car, the wheels are too big, it makes too much noise, the steering wheel is hideous, the interior is bad, there's more basic. Oh, it's too boxy around the back, it doesn't have the Toyota logo on the back, the XSE is stupid, yeah. The only reason why I think the XSE is stupid is because it's an SUV. Toyota, what are we doing here? No, it's a GR Sport, like that. Toyota, what are we talking about, man? It's an SUV. That's like making a semi-truck a sports car and the Miata a diesel. Why would you want to do that? I mean, it's like, you have plenty of fast cars. Leave GR to that. All you're doing is diluting the brand. That's like taking an Apple logo and putting it on like an HP Chromebook, an HP Stream. It's like, well, you can do that, but you're just diluting your brand for absolutely no reason. I know some people are going to buy it, but those people could also buy other things. So yeah, a lot of new additions for 2026. It's hopeful. I think the auto industry is healing, which is really what we need. And I'm glad that more gas cars are coming out, and that, you want to know what? I think we'll be okay in the end.